photos up there. I'm sure they would have been photoshopped, and I could not say that they were actually me because it was probably a much older person. Much younger than the photos I've seen. First, I'd like to nominate my table as the party table. Hello, my name is Brian, and I am a volunteer. But I've got it under control. Now, I can stop whenever I choose. I tell others in town, say that you're going to show up to something and then show up. And then all this could be yours someday. And they look around and see what all that is, and there's more to it, and it's a long conversation, and eventually they're not very interested after a while. A big thank you to the Hamburg Our Town Foundation's Main Street manager, Dina Kirshner,
Yay.
and Angela Case, our Street coordinator, for nominating me. And a thank you to the PA Downtown Center for the recognition and for choosing Dina and Angela's submission titled, "Look What We Are Doing For You, Brian," in 14,000 words or less, also known as "I Know What You Did Last Summer." Perhaps the real reason that I'm here now is because other OTF volunteers are seasoned veterans and are just more skilled at screening their calls than I am. I mean, I do have a particular ringtone for the OTF calls, the Our Town Foundation. Having a ringtone of a nuclear alarm on one's cell phone to identify, or rather to warn, incoming calls would be just good, plain common sense. Now, I'm not saying that I use that ringtone, but that's just an example.
Yes. Yes.
And then the phone rings. I ask myself, what if they just want to say hello? So I answer, and that's why I'm a novice. And that's why I'm here. I'm taking this at the 10 o'clock hour?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
You will, the rest of us will be on.
I wasn't always a volunteer. I actually lived in Hamburg for 5 years before fully understanding and appreciating what the OTF was doing for my community. I just so happened to move into the designated Elm Street area of our town, and so I joined. Dean approached me, said, "Would you like to be a board member?" I said, "Sure." Later, Ernie Sutton, previous OTF board member of the directors, OTF Board of Directors Vice President, seated at our table, nominated me as Vice President before he defected to the state of Ohio. I raised my hand to ask a question. Somebody made a motion, it was seconded, and that was my start. Last year, Hamburg was starting a farmer's market, and I wasn't always aware that was in the works. I must have missed that meeting. So I raised my hand to ask a question. Thought it never hurts to ask. What's the worst that could happen? Dina said, "Great. We need someone to manage the market. Thanks for stepping up to the plate." That's the point where everything spiraled out of control for me. From that point on, I felt that I needed to be that guy. The guy they called. It was my vice. 2 more pages.
Oh, jeez.
Now, however, as volunteer of the year, my biggest fear is how the near future may drastically change overnight to weather my own personal storm. When the phone rings from the calm, "Hello, how was your day so far? Have time for a small favor?" To the storm, "Hey Brian, remember how we nominated you and then we all went to Happy Valley and then you won that award? Yeah, that was great. So this is what we need from you today." It's the perfect storm. They get something done, I get my fix. Dean and Angela, I've changed my phone numbers, and I've blocked you from my timeline Facebook. It's just better that way. So in closing, managers, if you have any new members, just tell them to show up at a meeting and raise their hand to ask questions. Never hurts to ask them, what's the worst that could happen? Thank you.
You can all watch Brian on his Comedy Live special airing on Comedy Channel. Okay, I think that we're done.